Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Today we're working on this little Homelite Mighty Light. Good little weed eater. And I like the way these things rev up and down when they work right. Its only problem is God's it's been sitting for a while. So we had a choice of replace the carburetor or rebuild it. Now this is a super common carburetor, so I've always got a few of them sitting around. So I decided to just throw one on this time. Now on the next one, we'll go ahead and rebuild one so I can show you the details. But for a regular homeowner out there, just throwing a carburetor on is definitely the easy way to go. Now you might do fuel lines, which makes it a little more complicated. We'll see if this needs fuel lines when we get to it. So let's get started.
Ready to go.
Okay, now I'm not sure what size this little bolt is, but they're usually finger tight, just like this one. It's not a quarter. It's not a 6 millimeter. It's a little bit bigger. It's probably a 7 millimeter. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a lot of 7 millimeter wrenches sitting around. So that takes that off. Now when we roll it over, we got a regular Torx. Now on this, I'm going to guess at a 20. And it's a 20 for sure. But you'll note that this bolt is one of the carburetor bolts. So that makes it super easy peasy to come apart. Once we pull this, whole thing will fall off in our hand. See, looking at the cover on this, you can see all this yellow. And that's an indication that the gas is probably a mess. I'm expecting good things out of this because it's a good looking weed eater. It doesn't look like it's been abandoned or anything. So now, usually I would tell you to take the cap off before you do this, but this was already completely out of fuel. We're just checking inside to make sure that the fuel lines look okay. And in this case, they're pretty spongy, so I'm not too worried about them. Take pictures when you're taking it apart, or when you put it back together. You'll get this all wrong. See, I did not take pictures myself, so we're going to guess. And we'll put our lines on now. Let's put a little gas in it, and we'll pump it up and see which way the gas goes. Okay, let's stick a little gas in. I had to move you over just a little bit. Gotta be careful with this one. It shouldn't take much. There you go. Do it. Let's put the caps back on. I said, let's put our caps back on. Now with that done, we'll take our one bolt, put it back on. See, our original gasket is still in good shape, so we don't have to worry about that much. And on the new carburetor, we made sure that we got the exact one. This hole has to line up with this hole, or she won't run. It just simply won't run at all. Now this one's a little trickier than others. See, now we're doing this in 2 steps. First step is to get that bolt started. Second one is to get this one started and lined up correctly. And notice you can't get to that bolt now, so there's no good way to line up the carburetor. So now we're going to pull this off and hold the carburetor still. Move just a touch. Right there. And now we'll tighten this bolt up. You might have to do that twice. So now we're going to see if she primes. Nope, no prime. So we'll switch fuel lines and see if she primes now. It's possible the fuel filter's clogged. Okay, I started out thinking these fuel lines were good, but the fuel filter's clogged, so you might as well go ahead and put new lines on. Be done with it. So we're going to cut those off. Pull them through this way. Now, this line's just a little short one usually. Sometimes I can't reach it from the inside. There it goes. Shoot some tanks. Get her to the front and see if we can reach her. I don't pull these pliers out very often, but they come in really handy when I need them. Oh, she came out by herself. Very nice. We'll take that every time. Okay, we'll clean up our work area real quick. We don't want to introduce any dirt into the gas tank. Now we got new fuel line and a new fuel filter. So the first thing we'll do is put the filter on the line. And this will make sense in a second. Now we're going to taper this end like so. And run our line running tool backwards through the machine. Now it doesn't matter which one is your fuel line and which one's your return line until you put it on the carburetor. And it doesn't matter which hole you use either, 99% of the time. Oh, look at it, nice and smooth. Looking good, looking good. And now try to make sure your fuel bulb sits right there naturally, right on the bottom. Let's see where we're at. Okay, she's sitting right about in the middle of the tank on the bottom. We'll hold the old carburetor up and say, this is where we want to be. Give ourselves a little bit extra. And then we're going to rinse and repeat for the return line. Now, the return line only has to be inside, and that's it. We're going to try to use the same taper twice. Sometimes that works. Yep, and this time it did. Now I'll pull this up. Now it's sitting right about here inside, and that's perfect. Pull them both to the same length. And remember, when you're cutting your fuel line, you can't cut it longer. You can cut it shorter all you want, you can't cut it longer. We're going to take this one and put it here, because that's our fuel line. We're going to take this one and put it here, because that's our return line. And it's just that easy. Now this little guy, I got him in a kit with fuel line, but if you order a carburetor and you look around a little bit, you can usually find this included with the carburetor. And it's the handiest little tool in the world. So now we'll put our linkage back on. And we'll start our first bolt. Let's see, where's our gasket at? Oh, there it is. Our gasket went sideways just a bit. That's why we say take your time, take lots of pictures. Because it's real easy to miss something like that. Now we're going to start this just a little bit. Just that much. Now we're going to take this bolt and put it in just for alignment. This is really unique to the Homelites. We're going to double check. I'm looking around to make sure that my gasket's in the correct place. Then we're going to spin this nut out. You can't get to this one while this one's in place. And we don't want to leave it quite that loose. Okay, that's out there. They're holding everything very still. And very gently tightening that one in. Now your choke on this works on this plate, rotating around so that this part blocks the airflow here. So now we're going to go ahead and put it back together. Come on, Betty. There you go. I don't know what size this is. Let's find out. There you go. It's a 7mm, just like I thought. I don't have a 7mm wrench, but I've got a full set of sockets. I'm putting that on not terribly tight. And you can, I don't know if you can see it, but it goes click, click, click once it's on. It'll be a little extra snug, a little extra love. Make sure it's still operating correctly and it's nice and tight now. So let's put some fuel in it and test it. It's super common when I get one of these little engines that it hasn't been run for a really long time. There you go, that should do it. And I'm sure this one's the same as the rest of them. You know, when I look at it, it looks nice, but it's got all the indicators sitting around. Okay, we got a little rain this morning, which is unusual in Texas, but let's test her out. We've already got her primed, so we're going to turn this dial to full choke. And we might have to pump her a few times because she's been sitting a while. Or maybe not. Okay, we turn the choke off. Okay, we need to turn the idle up just a touch. Sounds okay outside of that. Let me go get a screwdriver. Okay, for this one in particular, there's a little hole right here. And all you do is put the screwdriver in that, and it'll take you straight to the idle screw. Now I just turned up the idle just a touch. It starts up real good. Now maybe a touch more. Sounds like she could use turned up just a touch on the high side. It's idling good, but you can hear it flattening out at the top. Now this particular machine takes what they call a Pac-Man. A Pac-Man is a round screwdriver with a little slot on one end. So let's start her up. Now we'll start with the idle to make sure she's in a good place. And the idle is the one closest to the engine. Okay, I'm getting very little action out of the idle. So now we're going to rev it up and then turn the high screw, which is one farther from the engine. There you go, now she sounds pretty good. Now it's not easy to see the screws on this one because of the nature of the air filter and the choke mechanism. But the one here closer to the motor is for the low end and the idle. If it weren't idle DC, you adjust that. The one farther away right next to it on this side of it, is the high end. When it doesn't rev up decently, that's the one you adjust. Now that one's even lighter than an Echo. The only reason yard people don't use them all the time is that they're a little bit flimsy for 8 hours a day. For a homeowner, that's a great little weed eater. It starts easy, it runs fast, and it's worth owning. Now, when you adjust the carburetor, if you can, order a carburetor that has the line pulling tool and comes with the correct screwdriver. So you can see these are all the most common ones I use. Today we use the Pac-Man, but tomorrow it might be the spline or the little A or the big A. What do they call it? It's the A circle. And there's a big A circle and a little A circle. So all you new people out there, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. It's free, and it's what we work for. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.